Welcome back. Bottom of the second inning. We are now pleased to be joined by pitcher for the Chicago Cubs and the Cubs Nike RBI Ambassador for this season, Jordan Wicks. Jordan, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate you coming on board and talking about your ambassadorship with Cubs Nike RBI. And I want to know, what's been your involvement so far with the program?
It's been awesome. We've gotten to do a lot of really cool events. Getting to meet a lot of the Cubs teams, a lot of the players, talking to a lot of them. Getting to be with them on the field at Wrigley when they got to go out there and have their picture taken and stuff like that was a really cool event. And then getting to come out here and see such an awesome field and some games out here is awesome.
And these are all high school players we're seeing unfold right now. So, from your perspective, what was your experience playing baseball like when you were these young athletes' age right now?
Yeah, it was doing a lot of the similar things that they were, playing in tournaments during the summer, on fields like this, on, hot days out here in the summer, and, playing a lot of high school ball, and it was a lot of fun. It's awesome, just getting to be out here and see this. It honestly brings back a lot of memories.
And what makes, being involved in trying to grow the game, what about that means so much to you is now that you've reached the pinnacle of professional sports and professional baseball?
Yeah, for me, it's, I just try to, help kids and give them a lot of the things that I learned growing up, because I was fortunate enough to have a lot of people that helped me along the way. And so now that I feel like, I've been in the position I'm in, I feel like, a lot of it is my responsibility to also give that back. And so for me, it's, hoping to help these kids and, whether it's, teach them something on the field, off the field, whatever it may be, I love that part.
This is downstairs for a ball. I want to talk to you about, you were there alongside Luke Little at Family Day, back in May. They did the jersey presentation. What would have gone through your head if you were, a high school player getting that opportunity, get your jersey presented and you get to go on to Wrigley Field then afterwards as well?
Man, that would have been a moment I'd have never forgotten, I can tell you that. And I hope it was a day that, those kids will never forget and they'll take a lot from, especially those families as well. One of the coolest moments for me, being in there was just, seeing all the parents' reactions, how proud they were of their kids, how, awesome it was for them to be there, which was really cool because, it shows you a lot of the stuff that we do has impact beyond just the players. You sit there and you get to see the look on the families' faces, you get to see, all the people involved, and it's such a cool thing to do.
And for example, in this league that we're watching right here, obviously, the opportunity to play baseball for free, how important do you think that is also for growing the game itself, not just besides those opportunities of getting to go on the Wrigley Field, but these opportunities here where you're getting to play competitive baseball and quality baseball for free to little cost?
Yeah, I mean it's so important because baseball's an expensive sport. It is. Growing up, there's a lot of gear that goes into it. There's a lot of elements to it, and so to be able to limit some of that cost and make it more affordable is huge for growing the aspects of the game to all people who want it.
I want to talk to you also about your time you spent over at Lakeview High School. You went back and visited a French class there in January. From your perspective as well, what did that experience like for you, and why is it so important to reach out to the community beyond just helping the next generation of athletes?
Yeah, it's huge because it shows that not just trying to help kids who play baseball on the baseball field, strictly in that element, in all aspects of life. And so, being able to go into a class, even a French class, something I know very little about, it was really cool just to be able to see that different side of kids' days, their days at the school, and it's also cool to see that different aspect of Chicago because, you may not see a whole lot of that if you don't.
So, how many years of French did you take in high school? You said you knew very little.
I actually lived in London when I was a kid. Yeah, and for about 4 months, and I took French while I was over there for a semester. I was about 9 years old.
Don't remember a lick. I also have to ask you, right now we're watching a 0-0 game here. There's a possible pickoff play not executed in time, safe there at second base. I feel like you brought the pitching duel vibes here. It's a very low-scoring game. What is your biggest piece of advice to all the young pitchers out there who might be watching this?
Yeah, man, it's just the biggest thing is have fun, fill up the strike zone, and make things happen. That's one of the things that's the toughest to learn for a lot of these kids is how to consistently throw strikes, and it's one of the most important. You know, there's a lot of emphasis on velocity these days, and you know that's great and everything. And you know, realistically, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good if it's not in the zone. So the big thing is you know, filling up the zone and all that sort of stuff.
Talking right now with Jordan Wicks. He's the Cubs Nike RBI Ambassador for the year. Also involved with Cubs charities. You know, that time you spent at the Cubs convention meeting fans. What about this fan base makes, you know, Cubs fans and being a part of those events so special?
Man, it's unbelievable. You know, some of the nicest people, most outgoing, love to talk to you about anything. You know, Cubs, anything about baseball. So just being able to, you know, go out there and connect with them in an aspect that's not just about the game. So being able to, you know, talk to them off the field is so cool because, you know, you get to hear stories about how, you know, their grandfather brought their dad to Wrigley, who now brings them. Who, I mean, you run into these people who it just stems generations, and the stories you get to hear are just so incredible with, you know, just the different aspects of life. I mean, I run into people all over the country, whether I'm in Arizona or whatever, and they're like, oh, I moved from Chicago. I lived there, you know, 10 years growing up. Used to go to Wrigley all the time, and so it's, you know, Cub fans are truly nationwide. They're all over the place, and they show up whenever we travel. That's for sure.
A lot of these athletes out here are part of the Cubs Nike RBI All-Stars. They'll be competing at the regional tournament in July to compete for the RBI World Series. The biggest thing they talked about was the opportunity to compete with the name of their city, their hometown, across their chest. Now, if you were in the mindset of those young athletes, how do you handle those emotions of, you know, handling the weight of a major city like Chicago when you're trying to compete for a trip to a World Series, even if it's not the Major League World Series, it's still a World Series nonetheless?
Man, it's enjoy it, man. Those are those moments that really, you know, you don't get a whole lot of them. And you know, it's a rare opportunity, and it's an outstanding opportunity for a lot of these kids. And so just enjoy every second of it. Get to go out there with your city across your chest, wear it with a lot of pride, and just go out there and have fun. Go out there, compete, have fun, playing with your friends. Those are some of the best memories I had growing up. Was playing baseball with kids I grew up with, and you know, some of the most fun I had on a baseball field.
You're here for a little bit. You're going to get a chance to talk to a lot of these young athletes, both on baseball and the softball side. The sport of softball has grown so much, and we've talked a lot about baseball. Why do you think the growth of softball has changed so much over the last couple of years, and why do you think it's important to be involved not just on the baseball side of growing the game, but softball as well?
Man, I think a lot of what's been awesome for softball, especially, is, you know, just the publicity the Women's College World Series gets in college softball. I think that has blown up. It's a lot of fun to watch. Gets a lot of attention, and you know, when they make it that easy to watch and see how exciting it is, it gets exciting for a lot of young girls, which is outstanding to see. Because that's how you grow the game. You know, you get kids in front of it, and the kids love to see it. They love to watch it. And whenever they see people they look up to, they're like, you know, I want to be like that person. I want to play softball.
That's strike three, and that's the end. Jordan, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. Have fun with everyone the rest of the day.
Awesome. Thank you so much.